Well, now I finally get to elaborate on it. Kobe's career has come to an end, and I told you I think Kobe's ahead of Jordan now. You know, I was really caught in the emotions at the moment, and I would always put Michael Jordan just one slot above Kobe Bryant for greatest NBA basketball player. In my top list, I have Michael Jordan, then Kobe Bryant. And I said after that last game, I gotta put Kobe up above Mike. And it caused a frenzy. I didn't know it was. And maybe it was emotion. So I said, let me go back to why I say that. And I think I need to clarify that. Because it's hard for me to give the credit to somebody else when they emulated their game, patterned it after the guy who they're comparing you to. It's like you use the moves and techniques that person did, and they're comparing you to him and saying you're now better than him. It's kind of hard for me to do that, because Michael Jordan didn't, he really didn't pattern his game after people. He let his offensive talents and the game come to him. He watched other players, but he kind of learned under baptism through fire type thing. He went through the hardest tests there could be, because when he was coming up, you're going against the hard Knicks. The Atlanta would pound on you, the big boys. This is the Ford and Center era. So they were really laying you. When you went in the hole, you paid for it. They might give you one, and they like, hey, you come back in this hole again, I'm going to put you down. So it wasn't just the bad boys. Everybody was tough and physical. And you have to mentally deal with that and be able to dish it out and still be great. So Michael had more on his plate at the time to deal with, and he had to carry the team a lot of nights, because they were bad for a long time before they ever got good. So as a player though, this is not Kobe versus Michael, like if they played one-on-one, who would win. I'm quite sure y'all knew the time when they almost played each other. This was, Mike had retired. This is like 98 and 99. Around that time, and the Lakers was at the Forum. Phil had Michael come in and sit at the table. He had Kobe with him, and he was just saying, trying to get Michael Jordan to come on the Lakers team so that Jordan could win a championship, come back and play for the Lakers. At this time, this is before I think Mike went to this is before he went to the Wizards. He was trying to get Michael to come back and play on the Lakers, and in that way get a championship, playing on the Laker team, and they were having a meeting. He's like, well, you can come in and play Kobe and go one-on-one, because the thing is, Michael had just went to the Bulls camp and played one of the Bulls players and torched him. So when he was in California, he said, you should come in and, go a couple rounds with Kobe Bryant, We got a guy right now, and Michael was like, are you kidding? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I should come down there and play Kobe and see what he's got. And then Michael's like, oh, he can't guard me. He can't guard me. Phil, you know he can't guard me. and Kobe was like, well, okay, well, I'll play you. But if I play you, you just need to see what you got. I don't know if you can run, old man. So Michael kept pushing, like, You really think you're going to score me? So Michael kept the argument going, but he wanted to see. And then when they left, Mike was like, man, I love that guy. You know, this kid here, he's got it. You know, he's got it. He's like, he got the sickness. That's what Michael called it, the sickness. He got the sickness worse than me. Because Michael is obsessive with winning. Michael is obsessed with winning. It's all in his DNA, his blood. Michael can't take losing. Michael has the sickness. And I think his was worse than anybody's. He thinks Kobe's was worse than his, but no, Mike's is something else. Kobe used Michael as the measuring stick, as I gotta surpass him. Jordan was doing it based off, I want to prove everybody wrong. I'm the best and I gotta do it every night and I gotta be Michael Jordan. But here's the breakdown and how you determine which player was great. You look at everything they can do and say, what could they improve on? What were they missing to be great or greater for say? I say that Kobe was missing, I would say, the only thing Kobe was missing from his game is knowing how to manage behavior. Jordan, I think, was a little bit better in managing behavior. See, Kobe needed a Phil Jackson more than Jordan needed a Phil Jackson, because he needs someone that's going to maintain those personalities on the team. Kobe's not going to spend too much time to try to get them to follow suit on the plan and say, this is what we're trying to run and we think you need to come in and implement a strategy. Kobe is like, do what I say or else. You know, so his will, he didn't know how to, some people aren't used to being barked at. They're not used to that type of conditioning. Michael Jordan, when he barked, people, he did it to the right people who he felt they needed this push. You know, he actually hit a couple of people in practice, and he'll elbow you, and Kobe would elbow you to try to get you tougher. But sometimes you gotta finesse, and I felt that Jordan was better at that than Kobe was. Is finessing a situation for personality reasons. Now, offensively, Kobe's better than Michael. Y'all gonna hate it and throw stuff around and be like, you crazy. Michael Jordan this, Michael Jordan that. They have the same moves. Michael, he has those moves Michael has. Michael's more athletic than Kobe. But Kobe shoots in different spots of the court than Michael. Also, Michael wasn't really too big shooting on the elbows. Kobe has much deeper range than Michael. Michael would probably attempt 2 3-pointers in a game, period, if he attempted a 3. You know, Michael was not known to be a big 3-point shooter, but if he had them, you know, he made quite a few of them. Some even to win games. but he's not known as a big three-point shooter, or he plays to his strength. He knows 15 feet from the basket is where he likes to be. He gets the ball in certain positions down there. He can take advantage of you, or if he slash, he wants to get to the basket. But normally, you force Michael Jordan to take long jump shots, like outside of the red. Put him at 18 feet, put him at like 20 feet. Getting him shooting out there, you had more of an advantage. With Kobe, 18, 20 feet for him, that's still in his range. Kobe, from behind the arc, he was attempting about 12 and 8 three-pointers a game. You know, so his attempts from three-point range are a lot higher, even though he shot basically the same percentage as Michael, is because he took far more shots than Michael from three-point range. And to shoot from the elbows is uncomfortable to a lot of people. A lot of players don't shoot from the elbows. If they can avoid shooting from the elbows, they would. You know, they in practice or a wide open shot maybe, but in transition, somebody would stop and pull up on the elbow and shoot. That's very rare. Kobe made that a common thing. He'll drive, stop, pull up on the elbow and shoot, because he knows the defense will be off balance. They'll think he's trying to run to the corner to shoot, and he'll stop on the elbow and pull up and hit a shot. And to Kobe, the defense will think that shot is just weird, it's not going in. Kobe will net it. He educated LeBron James on that shot like 2 times in a row. LeBron guessing wrong that Kobe was going to continue to drive, he stopped and pulled up on the elbow and dropped him off twice. And I said, oh my God, this guy is a freak of nature. Kobe Bryant at one point was just, if Michael Jordan was ever cut loose and they just say, go crazy Mike, you might have seen something like that. But for Michael to get those type of 60s and 64s, he got to have a real on night and take some shots and get to the free throw line and stop the clock, because he plays more of an inside game. Kobe's going to shoot a lot of threes. So those going to add up a lot quicker than those 2-point shots. Assists. Kobe's a better passer than Michael Jordan. Okay? For y'all who don't understand, Kobe, when he does pass, and he does pass, for a 2 guard, he averages about 6 to 7 assists a game. That's damn good. You see, a lot of you guys just hate Kobe Bryant. But it's funny to me, Kobe's a gun, he takes all these shots. That's the same thing they said about Michael Jordan, though. Because I said that about Michael Jordan. Mr. I could do everything. Michael Jordan. And the thing of it is that he averaged almost 7 assists. Same thing with Michael. Michael had averaged a lot of assists too, but that's when he got Scotty going and everybody else, then he could share the ball. He was being more smarter using the team. Now, Kobe was sharing the ball like crazy. And you guys didn't appreciate it. But it was funny to me that the same year Kobe was the gun and Kevin Durant attempted more shots than Kobe Bryant, missed more shots than Kobe Bryant, was averaging the same points as Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant had more rebounds than Kevin Durant. Kobe Bryant had more assists than Kevin Durant. But they call Kevin Durant a scorer, Kobe Bryant a gun and a ball. So you figure out the math. That tells you about public perception. Right there. And y'all all feel guilty to it. Now, when it came to Michael, Michael was a better defender than Kobe Bryant. Kobe's a good defender. I mean, he's outstanding. Michael knew his limitations, though. Michael wasn't going to try to guard a point guard the entire game. Kobe's taking on the best players in the league every night. You know, he wants to guard them and try to stay with them, and that's over the years to kill yourself. But defensively, Michael was a better defender because he knew what each team was going to do, what they wanted to do, and how to systematically get in the passing lanes, get key blocks, get key steals, and put himself in position to take over the game or isolate a situation. His focus mentally was something else when it came to defense. He did get away with a lot of arm chopping. You know, he was an arm chopping master, and, you know, they always gave it to him because he was Michael Jordan. You know, he could not get that called against him at all, even though he'll chop your arms off. Now, Kobe is a great defender also. And this is a hard choice because Kobe actually did some things defensively that Michael didn't do. Michael also knew how to pin your arm against each other. You know, like keep your arm. So if you go one way, you better drive, because don't sit there and think you're going to just keep crossing all back and forth all day if Michael's playing you close. You know, Kobe know what he can do and how to shield himself from the officials, to pin your arm in, wanting to stay close to you, and the ref won't call it a foul because he'll move a certain way. I mean, Kobe had a lot of techniques in there where he can grab your trunks for a half a second to slow you down and keep you there. You know, it was little things little sneak things that help you cheat on defense that certain players can do without the referee even seeing it, and they can keep you at bay. Kobe watches the feet. He know how to keep his feet in the proper place to keep you pent in and make you uncomfortable. If you get the ball in certain spots, he know how to make it really uncomfortable for you, so you have to give up the ball. Durability. Michael Jordan is light years above Kobe Bryant in durability. Michael took more physical abuse, and the man played every game. I don't know how he was doing it. He's putting up 82 games a season. Michael would not miss a game. Where Kobe's body wasn't as durable as Michael's. Michael was more athletic, and Kobe's body he's got his father's genes when it comes to like bad joints. You know, the knee injury that he had when he had that was more serious because he got tendonitis in the knee, and then the cartilage is going to irritate him for life. So it kept bothering him, so he went over to Germany where they could do the stem cell and regrow the stuff and put it back in his knee. And see, it's not licensed here in the United States, so Kobe had to go to Germany where they take his actual, and regrow the cells and take his actually DNA and grow it and put it back in his knee and do the transfusion of putting the fluids back in there, so he's able to move around and do the things that he want to do, and it's all natural. You know, had nothing artificial in his leg. You know, he wanted to be natural and use this procedure so he could still be the same Kobe Bryant. He didn't want to get the pin and put in his leg or his knee. He was like, "Nah, I don't want no metal. I want to go in with the stem cell. We've been doing research." So he went over to Germany to get treatment. Now, the reason why stem cell research and all this stuff is risky, and sometimes in certain things it works, and this is what people get mistaken, is that when you take cells are genetics that you really don't understand yet until you put it in process. They understood it back in the 90s once they cloned that goat. But a lot of people don't realize that goat died in like 2 years. It died a lot faster because what happens is when you clone the cell, even though it started off new and is young and everything else, those cells have the same age that it was cloned from. You're cloning something that's 30-something years old. And then you clone it, and even if it starts off, you got a Benjamin Button effect. But except for it's not getting younger, it's going to get older quicker because it's starting off at 35. And see, people don't understand it. They say scientifically they can take all that out. No, it doesn't. It ages rapidly. And it deteriorates faster. And when you try to do that type of procedure and put it in an athlete who's not going to take it slow, he's not going to be walking around a lot of days, he's going to be running up and down the court. This was never done before for an athlete who plays basketball. You know, like competitively at the highest level. So that's stress on your body, your legs. So this procedure is like giving you access to run again. And we saw vintage Kobe again. Kobe was dunking the basketball. He was flying up. He was having the greatest comeback season of all time. And he ended up tearing his MCL right at the end of the year when he was trying to wheel the Lakers into the playoffs. We all remember that, don't we? And they was like, well, that's not the knee. The knee it's just a part of it. You got to understand, if that cell is starting to deteriorate, you're going to be getting more support from other entities in your body to make up for the lack of power or lack of stability that's in your knees and everything else. That's how people tear their ACLs and they're out of position, or when they push off, because you're putting so much stress on your body that your body tells you it's time to shut down. That's why when Kobe had to ice himself all the time, his knees, his joints, because his body can't take it. He's arthritic, like his father was. And he thought it was because his father didn't stretch. That his father go out and play basketball every day. He's like, man, I'm telling you, stretch. You gotta stretch. It's not that. He's got arthritis in the joints, and Kobe has it too. And his joints can't take it, and that's why his whole body is on fire. You gotta ice his knees down because the cells. He's gonna have that operation. You gotta have that operation again. You know, and it's gonna keep deteriorating. But now that he's not playing anymore, you know, all he would need is a checkup to see how it's going, and you know, everything else. So durability definitely goes to Michael. Now, they both equal in championship, or when the game's on the line, the game means something. When it's time to win, you know, I say they equal in that department. A lot of people would go with Michael when the game's on the line. Michael's missed a lot at the games at the line, just like Kobe has. But with Michael, he comes back and makes up for it in a big way. Kobe, well, the thing is with Kobe, if he misses a game-winning shot, he's hit more game-winning shots than Michael. People don't believe it, but he has. He actually, the next time, if it's a vendetta, you're going to get 50 put on you. Kobe could score 50 anytime he wanted. But Michael and him both had the killer instinct, but Mike's game was, he never thought about, let me go out and get 50 tonight. One time he did. He scored 55 against the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. And where he just decided after that Game 3 screw job that the referees did when they went to like almost double overtime to get the victory against the Phoenix Suns, the referees just swallowed the whistle. So in the next game, the Game 4, Michael Jordan had a vendetta against the NBA refs in the league. So if you watch Game 4 between the 1993 NBA Finals with the Phoenix Suns and Chicago Bulls, watch that game. Every time Michael Jordan got the ball, he drove to the basket. every time, and he dared the referees not to call foul. And they tried to guard him with Dan Marley, and he was like, I know y'all ain't finna guard me with Marley. Charles, y'all gotta do better than this. And he was in a vengeful mode, and Barkley at the end, that's when they got that 3-point play on Barkley to seal the game. Because Barkley like, y'all act like y'all scared of Michael Jordan. I'll guard Michael. If Michael come this way, I'll guard Michael. And then he guarded Michael Jordan, and that went left. I'm trying to think. At one point that I think he was at, when Kobe was scoring at 60-something, I mean, Michael told him the system. Michael told Kobe the system and said, and I remember when he had made the statement, Michael Jordan said, if I came back into basketball, I could easily average 30 points a game. Easy. He's like, do you realize that's just 8 points a quarter? 8, 8, 8, and 8. And I'm at 32 points. So, how could I not? That's how Michael thought. He told Kobe, if you care about points, it's easy to average 32. All that is 8 points a quarter. That's 8, 8, 8, and 8. That's a couple of shots. You do that a quarter, you average 30 easy. Then he's like, Michael's thing was, he was better at getting to the foul line and getting other players in foul trouble. So court IQ to Michael goes the edge. Michael could get you in foul trouble more than what Kobe would, because Kobe wouldn't slash as much. He would shoot threes. So he didn't slash or go in the paint and do as much as Michael to draw fouls, but he learned Michael's technique of trying to lean into players to get fouls when you do your pump fake. Michael did a double pump fake. He'll pump fake before to try to get you in the air off the initial goal, then he'll turn and pump fake, and he'll face you up and still fade away and hit the shot. So Mike did like a combination of two different things. Kobe would only do one fake, turn. If you still didn't go for it, he'll fade too and pull up and shoot. But he's more efficient if you go for the fake. But he only does one. Kobe only goes off one. Mike could throw two. He can do a palm the ball fake and then come over. Michael jumped higher than Kobe, but Kobe was taller than Mike, so, you know, go figure. And it's just technically sound. Michael's body, when he shot the ball, he was in a technical, solid position to do whatever he wanted to do on the court. He was in a position to pass, shoot, and the lanes. He made sure the lanes was a certain way so he can run in and get a rebound if he needed to. Whatever the game needed, Michael could do. And you got to understand, I hate Michael Jordan as a basketball player. I rooted against him. He was the greatest adversary to root against. If you root against somebody, it's like, Michael was a complete a-hole. He was. He wanted to be like me, Michael. But you appreciated that, even if he was your adversary. You respected it because he was good enough to warrant this type of attention. So that's why, as the Pistons came up with a system to stop him and to neutralize him, it actually made him better. He needed that. Michael Jordan needed Detroit in order to become Michael Jordan. And y'all don't understand what that means. Man, Jordan was still scoring 40 back then. What you talking about, dude? It's not about that. I'm talking about evolving to become a better basketball player. That's what he evolved to. The Michael Jordan from 2006, I mean from 96, 97, and 98, around that era, even in 93, he was a much smarter basketball player. Much smarter than he was in the 91 and 92 and 90 and 89, all those years. Much better of a basketball IQ. Plus, he knew personnel. He knew, I could trust this person. This person's going to do this. That person's going to do that. This person over here is going to do this. I could trust them with the basketball. I don't need to have it right now. Let it. I could still get 30 a night. It's going to come. Like I said before, 8 and 8. Michael knew how to get 30 if he wanted to and take over a game when he needed to. But he trusted the team. He knew how. Kobe had to learn that once they got everybody on the team, they had the right pieces where they could vie for a title. But certain personalities, Kobe's gonna clash with, like the Howard situation. That would have never happened with Michael. Michael would have made Howard believe he could do something. Kobe couldn't make Howard do that, even though Howard was soft and still is soft, Dwight Howard. Kobe thing is, I'm going to push you to make you greater. And all that's going to do is cause him to rebel, and that's what he did. He rebelled back against Kobe. And all of a sudden he won out. So this video is a little longer than it should be. Hopefully you got some informative information out of it. But overall, I would say I still got to go backtrack, and I was going off the emotion a little bit. I'll put Michael ahead of Kobe. I'll put Michael ahead of Kobe. But I still got Isaiah Thomas is still the greatest NBA player that ever lived. So you gotta still swallow that one. Y'all can't even debate it. And what's funny about that video is nobody really disagreed. So what that tell you? I'm out.